Hello, welcome everybody to our second tutorial on how to use the LEGO Studio design program. Yesterday we worked on building this little parrot by importing the set from the set number, bringing it into the program and giving us all the bricks to build it. Feel free to watch that video again to pick up any tips and tricks. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do sort of the next evolution of that. We're going to build a little car and a house as a set from a real Lego set. So what we're going to do first, just like with the parrot, is we're going to import the set. So I'm going to pull up the instructions so we can see the set number. And that's right here, 5899. And this is the cool little set we're going to build. We're going to build this house and the car and the dog and have a couple of the minifigs to go along with it. Okay, so first things first, I'm just gonna sort of move my screen here a bit so I can have the best view for everybody to see it. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna make a new scene by hitting this little plus sign up here. This is like a tab system, sort of like what you see on a internet browser. You can open up a bunch of scenes or a bunch of things you're building by just adding another tab. So this makes a new scene. You can also do this by going up to File and New. Okay, so that's just gonna make our new scene. We've got our master catalog over here on the side, our color palette up here, and this is our list of all the pieces that are in the set that aren't there right now. So just like the parrot, we're gonna go up to import and import official Lego set. And we're going to enter in the number 5899. Okay, and that's going to come up with that right there. Now, instead of importing into the scene like we did for the parrot, we're going to import it as a palette, and it's going to make its own catalog of pieces that should be in that set in this palette, so we don't have to search through the entire thing. But the other thing we're going to do today is we're going to include the minifig parts. Now you're gonna see in a minute when I do that, it's gonna say it can't find a couple of things, and that's normal when it comes to minifigs. But because they're just minifigs, we can find something else that'll work in the master catalog. Okay, so include minifig parts, and we're gonna say include extra parts this time, and we're gonna import it as a palette. We're gonna click import, and it's gonna take a second. And like I said, there's gonna be a little bit of a error thing coming up here. So the following parts failed to import, and you just double check that you know which ones they are. So this one is a 2x2 brick with eyes. So I assume that means that it's this dog, and I actually ran this set number through earlier to see if it would work, and this piece does exist. They may have changed the name of it, and so this program has it called something else. So I did find it, so we're going to be able to go through the master catalog and find it. And then the other ones that couldn't find were the torso sweater, which I think is the girl's sweater, excuse me, and the overalls. So again, we can find something else that can work with those. They don't have to have the exact same ones. Okay, so we're gonna click OK. And oh, I have this set up to search for something. Just hang on. There we go. Okay, so the house building set shows up here, and this is where you can come in and change your palette. So you can come up here and say, change your catalog. You can say, I want to get parts of the master catalog, I want to get new parts, and so on and so on. So what this is doing here, so it's showing you, and you can have a bunch of catalogs set up. So if you have a bunch of sets, the program will save sort of all of the catalogs that you've imported. So if you've imported a bunch of sets over the month or whatever, it'll actually keep those catalog sets in here, so that the really cool thing is you can go through your own sets and figure out all the set numbers to all the sets you own and enter them in here, and then you could design something in this program with all the pieces that you already own, or you should own, because sometimes you may have lost something. But that's a really cool sort of extra thing that you could do, is you can take the time to catalog and find all the sets that you own and put them into this program, and then it'll build a personalized catalog of all the pieces you should already have and all the colors and everything, which is really, really cool. Okay, so these are all the pieces that are in the set that we're going to work with. Okay, so there's quite a few here actually, more than we had for the parrot, and you can see there's some heads and some hair and some arms and some legs. Okay, so that'll be great because then we can build those at the end, and we can find some parts that'll actually work with them for the tops. Okay, so let's get going here. I think the first thing we're going to build is the car. So that's a really cool thing. We haven't built a car yet. So let's go down. We're trying to find this piece. So this is just a matter of scrolling and picking up the pieces. So it looks like it's the plate 2x8, and this will also get you familiar with some of the naming of things. So this is a plate 2x8. We're going to grab that and bring it in. Okay. Now we need some other pieces here. Now these instructions, the coloring on them is really bad. I'm sorry for that. The black is very black and very hard to see. It's just probably when they saved or scanned the instructions years ago. So these pieces here, the plate modified, this one here is the one we want. We're going to turn it 90 degrees, go here and go here. Okay. And then we're going to get the white plates, which I see some of them right here, there. And when you're pulling it from the catalog here on the side, it'll keep the piece selected. Let me just undo that so you can see what I mean. When you're clicking on these ones, it will keep making them. If see how when I clicked it, it didn't go away? That's because there's still more in the catalog. You can see here on the side here the numbers. There's 3x, 1x, 2x. That's how many of those pieces are included in the set. So it'll keep making them until there's no more left in the inventory. Okay. So to deselect this piece, you don't want it anymore. You just right click twice and it'll go away. Okay. Now, here's the next piece. So we're going to do two of these, one on each end, there and there. Okay. And again, right click to make it go away. All right, so then we're going to be building the sides of the car now. So we're going to go up and find the red arch pieces. So there and there. And then we need two regular 1x2 bricks to go in there and there. Okay, so hopefully I haven't lost anybody yet, but because it's a recording, you can pause it and go back and watch it again. Okay, so the next piece is, I kind of skipped some here, but you get the idea. We're going to do two pieces there, and we're going to do two bricks. Oh, you know what? I missed a major important step. I missed the top part of the gray piece. You guys probably caught that. So I'm going to go back and find, there we go. I got talking and I got distracted. And there we go. So there's that. Oh, I don't want that piece either. So it's just, if you need to delete something, it's really easy. You just click on it and press the delete key on your keyboard and it goes away. Okay, so let's follow the instructions. I wasn't following the instructions, was I? Let's go back and we need the arch pieces for the wheel wells of the car, there and there. Okay, now let's grab the 1x2s. And then step 5, let's follow the step numbers. Step 5, this and this. See how it is kind of handy that they keep the pieces, or they keep the selected piece going, because sometimes you may need to do more than one or two of them, and it's kind of handy not to go back in the palette and have to grab it again. Okay, so then the next one we need is the front piece there, which is this, and it's a double-sided piece. So this is a common one. One side has horizontal lines and the other side has lines that run up and down. Okay, so we want, it looks like in the picture that we want the side that has the lines that run horizontally or sideways, okay, like that. Okay, and again, we don't need an extra piece there. So there we go. And then we need a steering wheel. We haven't had a steering wheel yet, have we? There he is. Okay, so steering wheel, and it's a two-colored piece, which is kind of cool. Sometimes we get pieces that are already built kind of together, which is kind of nice. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to finish it off by doing the other side of the vehicle. And this is a really basic car, but you guys can also take the time to add some creativity to it too if you want to. You want to change the color. To change the color of something, remember, we go up, we select the piece we want to change, and we go up here and say I wanted to make it an orange car. Let's see. I wanted to do like just plain orange. I can do that. I can make every piece different to make a rainbow car or whatever you like, okay? So there's also, I don't think I showed you this, but there's this really cool thing here too, that you can use a paintbrush, a paint roller, and you can just paint pieces different colors. And I do that by going up here. So I don't have any pieces selected. I just go up here and there's a paint roller and what looks like an eyedropper. So the eyedropper will actually pick the color that you're selecting. So if you have a color in the scene that you want to use for something else, you can use the eyedropper and select that color and it'll change this to red. Or you can use the paintbrush and then go here and select a color that is different and you select the paintbrush. It doesn't let me, there we go. Like the paintbrush and it'll paint that color just like this. So there's a few different ways that you can change the color of something, okay? So I'm just gonna undo that and go back and we're gonna finish off this car. Okay, so, here, okay, so we got a 1x2 and a 1x2 and then 1x4 plate there and there, okay? And then the last thing we need to do is add the windshield. So the windshield's in here. And you'll get sort of used to where the program puts pieces in the catalog. You'll see that it groups them in the types, and you'll get used to what order those types are in the list. So you'll be able to remember, although like anything that's a windshield is down below, or wheels are way at the bottom, things like that. I don't think it's alphabetical. I think it's some other way to organize it. Okay, and then the last thing we need to do is the wheels. Now, this is sort of confusing because the catalog breaks it down into parts. So there's the wheels already assembled, and then there's the wheels, the middle part separate from the tire. So don't get too confused by that, because typically what they'll do is they'll give you the pieces already built together. I know some sets, when you buy them, you have to assemble the tire and the rim of the tire together. And some of the smaller ones, like these white and black ones, they typically come already put together, but it depends on the set. So I'm just going to grab the ones from the catalog that are already assembled, and I'll show you what they look like unassembled if you ever want to do that. So to assemble one of these tires, you just bring one in like this, and then you just bring one of the tires in like that. That's all you do. But then when you go to move it, you have to make sure that you select, either you make them a submodel or you select them together like that. So that's kind of a little bit more work than just grabbing the ones that are already built, okay? All right, so there's our little car. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this car a submodel so that we can move it around our scene a little bit easier. So remember how we did a submodel with the parrot? We select all the pieces, so we drag out a big box to go over everything, and we say create into submodel, okay? We're gonna call this car. All right, so now we have a car, and we can sort of move it around the scene. We're gonna move it a little bit back away from what we're gonna do next. We're gonna do the table and chair set next, okay? So we're gonna search in our list here. Up there we go, 2 arch pieces. So we're gonna set 2 of them up. Now this is a cool trick. The gray dot pattern on the ground is actually really useful. It shows you how far away studs can be. So if we know that we need to place these 2 arch pieces 2 spaces apart, then we can actually lay them out on the grid 2 spaces apart, so that when we come to do the top of the table, there'll be the right spacing apart, just like that, okay? And then we're gonna grab the 2x4 plate and build our little table set. So there we go. So there's our table. And then we just need to build the chairs, which are really simple, really easy chairs. So we'll do one here with a back on it. And we can even duplicate this now. So I'll show you, because we need 2 of them, right? So we built that one. All we need to do is draw a box around it. Well, first we should make it a submodel, right? So let's make it a submodel because it is technically a submodel. We'll call this chair, okay? And then all we need to do is we can press Control C, Control V to copy and paste, or you can right click on a little menu that pops up on the object, and you can say copy, and then you can right click away from it and say paste. And there's a separate chair, okay? So we're just gonna bring that over like that and like that. So we're just gonna set up a little table set there. And then the last thing is we add the Lego, classic Lego mug, which I think I have probably a lot of them, maybe over 10, because they come in all kinds of sets, right? So there's the Lego mug, and we just need to make the little bottle of soda or lemonade or whatever it's going to be. And that goes like that. So you have a little cup and drink set like that. Really, really easy, okay? All right, now we're going to get into making the dog. The dog is a really cool little fun little build. And remember I said the brick with the eyes on it didn't import, but I did find it. It's just called something other than what the initial, and that's common too. Like they do change the names of pieces over the years, and this set is over 10 years old now, I think. So they've probably changed the name of it, or this program calls it something different. I mean, that could also be too, because this program wasn't initially made by Lego. So the piece could be called something else from Lego, really. So this is where we need to find the head. So what we need to do is we need to switch where our catalog is looking. So right now we're looking just in the set for the house. So we go up here to this little box here, and we click on this menu, and this is where we want. So we want to see all the different catalogs we can get to. Let's go to the master catalog, and this is going to be really quick. So I'm just going to go master catalog, and it's thinking about it. It has to, there we go. Okay, so then what we need to do is we need to type into the search field. There's a little magnifying glass here, just like when you search for something on the internet or something like that. And I just want to type in I, because that's really what we're looking for, right? Looking for I. Let's see, it might not have narrowed it down enough. You might have to just click, and up above the search are different categories. So let's just look in brick and see what we come up with. Oh, I see a Minecraft character. Don't get too distracted here. It might be, let's see, if I type in IH, there we go. Okay, so I just started to type in eye and head to see what would come up, and there's a bunch of different eyes here. It's like there's some, I see a Unikitty head, but there's the one we're looking for right there. See, now it's called a 2x2 with eye with white pattern on two sides. It's a long name. So let's grab that, because that's the one we want. It looks just like the one in the picture here. And again, if you get lost with that, it's really easy just to go back in my video and show you. But again, I had to switch what catalog of pieces we were looking at. So that's this menu thing right here. So we were on house building set, and I wanted to go to the master set. And then there's a search field right below, right here. These are all the categories of different kinds of bricks. There's a search field. I just started to type in eye and then head to see if anything came up. And then this started to come up. So there are thousands of pieces, right? So we don't want to spend hours and hours looking through everything. So, excuse me, you can narrow the search field by just starting to type in eye and head or whatever. So I'm going to grab this piece, and he's going to go right back on top of where the dog is, above the red piece. Now we're going to switch back to the catalog again of just our sets so we don't get lost in all of the pieces. So again, we go back up to where it says master, because we're in the master catalog right now. And we go down to where it says 5899-1 house building set, and that'll switch us back over. And you'll notice all you see are the heads, because it's keeping our search field here. So when I search I in the house building set, it's only going to show us what has eyes, which are just the heads of the minifigs, right? So I'm just going to cancel that search field, and it's going to send us back to where all of our parts are. Okay, so next thing we need to do are do the ears for the dog, right? And those are just little triangle wedge pieces or a slope. So I'm just going to grab one, and then it gives me another one right away. And we can rotate it around. And there's our real simple little white dog. Okay, so I'm going to submodel him or her and make it into a submodel. I'm just going to call this dog. Okay, real simple little character. And there are lots of different versions of dogs in Lego. Now that they have sets for Lego Friends, I think we probably have like 10 or 15 different variations of a dog that comes with that, all of those sets, because all of the Lego Friends sets seems to come with at least one animal. So we've got tons of little animals around in our Lego collection, but this is a fun way to build a dog. I don't think I've ever built a little simple dog like that. It's really kind of cool. So we're going to drag him back over there. And now I think we're going to get into building the actual house, which is really cool. So we're going to do that. And we are going to grab the green plate. Now the green looks a little bit different. It's a little bit more green in the instructions, but that's okay. We can always work with that. So we're going to do this right here, I think. Give us some space. And again, you can build it wherever you want in this scene because it can go on forever and ever. But you want to keep it sort of tight so that we're not like constantly having to scroll around to try and find everything. Okay, so first things first, we're going to grab some bricks here. So we're going to just go up to our brick section here and go one, right click to deselect that one, and another one, right click to deselect. Now this piece here, to my eyes, looks black. And I was looking for a black piece here, but I noticed that it's probably brown because there's 3 brown studs here. So it's probably brown. It's just the coloring on those instructions sometimes can be really hard to tell. But I used my detective skills and I think I figured it out that it's probably brown. Okay, so I'm gonna grab 2 more of these pieces here, the 2x2 bricks, and they go up top. And then grab another one, and you kind of can figure out based on the instructions what we're doing next. And I'm just sort of gonna keep going here. You guys can follow along. And that one, and then we get to do some studs on top of the brown. And this is a really normal way to represent plants growing. A lot of sets that I've seen in the normal Lego and in the Lego Friends sets, a lot of them have multi-layered studs to show off how plants grow, like a green top on part, a brown part on bottom kind of thing. Very, very normal. Cool way to do it. And there's a fence piece. That's a nice piece. I like those ones. They're always handy to have. Okay, and then we're gonna continue building. It looks like a little slope piece here. And then some more bricks. So we're going to go up here to the brick part. And there and there. Okay. All right. And then we're going to go to our window frames. Now, the window frames are a cool thing. You're going to have to make sure, though, that they're facing the right way. There's only a hole for the white part of the windows on one side of these. And let's zoom in to examine this. So let's look at how these are built. See how there's a slot or a white, not a white, a square sort of hole here. And see how it's kind of got like a frame built into it. So that's where the window, the inside part of the window sits in. And you'll see that from your own parts of Lego, because that's a really common thing to have the actual window frames with holes in them to snap in the other pieces. So that, just make sure that that's there, because the windows, I think, only open one way. They only open out. So if you want the windows to open inside the house, coming inside the house, then you have to flip the whole thing around. Same with the door, and we're going to look at that in a second. So then I'm going to grab the white part of the windows, which is here. Now these should snap right into the spot, and they'll be fine like that. And then you can rotate them in, or you can, I think, also place them like that. So you could actually rotate them using the arrow keys before you put them in. and they'll fit together like that, or you can have them open. Now, they will hinge on the right spot. If you press the H key to hinge, you can open them up, okay? And you'll notice it won't let me rotate it in. It stops it because it knows it can't do it in the real world, just like when we were trying to rotate the parrot yesterday, okay? So there's that. I'm just gonna leave one open so that you can see that it does open and shut. Sometimes I like to build my sets like that so that I can tell that it will open. And those two pieces there. Okay, and then we're on to the door. So the door is the exact same as the window, just bigger. So the door frame, make sure that the holes are at the outside part. But if you want your door to swing in, like a normal door at an outside door of a house, usually the outside doors swing into the house instead of out. But in this case, we're going to do it like this. And we're just going to deselect that and then grab the door itself. Now the door it can swing on either side or on either edge. So if you want it to swing the other way, you can simply rotate it around and it'll swing that. And the door is an exact mirror on both sides. So like it looks the same inside and outside. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like this. All right, and then again, it will hinge on the right spot. So it'll hinge just like the door's supposed to. This one actually does go away. Maybe they do sort of slide it. I don't know. I haven't played with these pieces in a long time. So I'll just leave it open a little bit so you can see that it opens up. Okay, and then we need a long 1x8 piece to go on top. Like that. Okay, and then we're gonna finish this off here. Run there. And there's a little bit of a submodel, but you know what? I'm not gonna really worry about putting that lamp as a submodel. I'm just gonna build it because I don't think I'm ever gonna move it again. And if I do, it's only two parts, right? So I'm just gonna add the little lamp part there and find the little hat that goes on top of it, the little dish. Okay, like that. Oh, and there's a doorknob. So this is a good thing. So we got the orange stud. Will it snap? So that's the question. Will it snap on? Might not, because the door is set at a weird angle. So we might have to set the door back in before we put the, now it's not gonna let me. There we go. That'll be close enough. Oops. Okay, and there we go, that should snap on. Sometimes because when you bring pieces in, they're only set at 90-degree angles. So if you're trying to put a piece on a piece that's already at a different angle, it might not snap in. Sometimes it does. It depends on how much of an angle it's on, okay? All right, so let's finish up the roof, it looks like. So we're gonna go back up here. And we need the 2x4 slope pieces to go there. And because it keeps it selected, we'll just bring another one over here and then deselect. There we go. Sometimes the deselect doesn't quite work. You gotta give it a couple of clicks to make it go away. And then that's there and there. And then this, oops, oh, look at that. I put it in the wrong spot. And see how it went clear because it was in the wrong spot. It wasn't connected. Okay. And there. So that's that part. And then we're almost done. We just got to bring that there and that there. Okay. And then another brick on top. You can kind of see where we're going here. And to finish it off, we've got two 2x2s there and two 2x2s there, and a brick in the middle to finish off our roof. Now, of course, you could add to this and keep going with it. You could even try and build maybe like an inside part of the house. This is just to give you sort of a taste of building house structure, like with the walls and the bricks and the roof and stuff. But again, like you guys can have a lot of different fun with that. Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to build the minifigs. And we talked about how the minifig, the top parts of the minifigs didn't come in, didn't get imported in. But we can still build our minifigures. We just have to find a different top for them. So let's start by grabbing the legs. And the legs are kind of cool because you can change the color of them too. So let's build, might have to separate them a little bit so you can get them together. There we go. Okay, so let's build the two minifigs. So we've got the legs. Now what we need to do is we need to go back into our master catalog and find some minifig torsos or upper bodies. So we go up here to our drop-down menu again. We click on the master. We give it a second to load up because it might take a couple of seconds to think about it because it is quite a bit of information. Now, instead of having to scroll and scroll and scroll, we're going to go up here to the categories here. And we're going to go down to where it says minifigure body. Okay, here we go. Now, these might be a little bit hard to see. I don't, oh, hang on, let's look at the color. But if you look and find, just find a couple of different torsos so that they're separate. I'm going to pick maybe this one for that. Maybe not. Maybe not that one. I like that one. Let's see. Oh, go away. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to just find something simple. Maybe this one. There we go. Like that. Okay. And then so all of the pieces in the master catalog have a default color white. So that doesn't mean that that piece is only going to come in white. You can come up here to the color palette with the piece selected. And I'm going to check this box here. It says hide unavailable colors. Okay. And I'm just going to select medium. So it's going to come in that color. So that's fine. We can do like a little different color from the one that's there. And then the next one, I'm just going to find another top to go on, just something like a normal shirt. Let's see. How about Batman? No, there's a surprisingly different amount of stuff, isn't there? So I'm just going to grab whatever. Not that one. No, not that one. That one's funny. No, something for the guy. Let's see here. What do we got? It's that one. It's like a scuba diving one. They're kind of hard to see until you pull them out. But what's this one? Like a pilot uniform. That's a Western one. Yeah. Let's see what this is. Let's go with this one, maybe. Okay, let's try this one. This one looks like. Not quite sure. What is my scene here? Okay, and then I'm just going to grab this color and see this one comes in brown. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to go back to our set catalog to grab the heads and the arms. We might have to change the color of the arms, but that's okay. So we're going to grab this head and this head. Okay. And they just go right on top like that. And then I'm just going to grab the arms. One arm goes there. And because they're right and left arms, we have to do them separately. Okay, there and there. And then their head, their hair pieces can go on. Again, they just snap on like regular bricks do. And this guy's headpiece, he goes on like that. And then like that and that. I apologize for my dog barking. She doesn't understand that I'm recording something. She does this every time I go to record. I don't know why. She doesn't like the sound of my voice, maybe? I don't know. Oh, so that's weird. So why did that piece go? Maybe because the arms need to be rotated up a bit. So let's just grab this quickly. If you run into this problem, it's just because the arm's probably intersecting with the hands. And yeah, the hand's sort of sticking out a bit. I'm just going to rotate the arms up a bit just to fix that problem. That should fix it. No? Oh, what's going on there? Why is it not? Oh, there's another hand. Yeah, I must have misplaced it. So let's just grab the hand up there and there. Okay, so that's better. All right, so now you can change the color to match the guy's shirt maybe, or maybe make him like he's wearing some kind of vest maybe. That'd be kind of cool. He's got a little slingshot there. It looks like his pocket. That's kind of fun. And then you can make her arms white too. Maybe she's wearing a sweater vest as well, or maybe she's wearing a full-on sweater like that. Okay, now I'm just going to show you quickly how to get the minifig into the sitting position, and then I'll let you guys go. Okay, so to get a minifig in the sitting position, you have to do a couple of things. You can't just bend the legs with the hinge tool. You actually have to go into, and you'll notice if you have a leg section selected, there's now a third button. Remember yesterday we looked at to hinge a tool with the wings of the parrot, we had to go these little buttons. There's a third button, and that's because these legs are made up of three parts, each leg and then the middle hip part, right? So this little button allows you to select the individual legs like this and pose them with the hinge tool. So if you go like this, it's sort of like a submodel. It's sort of like these legs are a submodel. So I'm just going to rotate now, and I can rotate the feet at a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to put that like that, okay? And so now he's in his sitting position. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab him and make him a submodel, okay? And I'm going to call him Guy. Sure, just call him Guy. And I'm going to bring him over and put him into the car, okay? Just to show you, oops, I dropped him. And now he's intercepted, okay. Just to show you what it looks like to put him in a car, okay? So it works the same way as all the other parts. This one, though, might be a little tricky because the car might, let's see here, angle-wise. He should sit in there. There we go, okay? Yeah, he just sits in there just like that. So now you can put him in the car and you can drive him around. And then again, you can do the same thing with the girl. You can have the legs bend and sit in the chair or whatever. You can swap them out, do the girl in the car or whatever. But anyway, so that's sort of the basic of how to pose. If you wanted to make it look like this minifig is walking, you do the same thing. You click on the legs, and then you bring maybe this foot up like that, and bring this foot back like that. And that may not, sit on a base plate or anything like that, but at least it looks like she's walking. So you can go like that and have them sort of pose their legs. You can change their arms around, do all kinds of things, okay? So that is sort of a crash course in minifigs and building a little house and a car and multiple things in a set, okay? So we're gonna stop it there, and we'll pick up again tomorrow. I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.